All yours, Keith.
Good morning, everyone. Today is February 19th, Friday. Welcome to a Board of County Commission special meeting. At this time, I'd like to turn it over to Manager Tom Souls.
Good morning, Commissioners, and we'll have the Chairman, you want to go ahead and go call order.
Again, welcome everybody. This is a special meeting of Friday, February 19th at 8:30 a.m. So we will call the meeting to order. Madam Clerk, next time, please.
Roll call. Commissioner Lopez. Present. Commissioner Dennis.
Present.
Commissioner Howell.
Present.
Commissioner Cruz. Present. Chairman Heisner.
Present. Next time, please.
New business. Item A, discussion of the proclamation declaring a state of local disaster emergency.
Okay. Is that the order we're going to go in?
Thank you, Chairman. Good morning, Commission. Tom Souls, County Manager here. We have a single item for the agenda of the special meeting this morning, as announced by the clerk. I'll start this off by saying that Commissioner Dennis has received a letter from the staff at Cheney, in Western Sedgwick County. And this came after we've seen a lot of discussion nationally and regionally about escalating natural gas prices and electric prices. Cheney sent this letter to Mr. Dennis, and we'll provide copies for the Commission on February 17th of 2021, and I'll just highlight it very quickly. It's about a page and a half. But the City of Cheney operates a natural gas utility of 796 utility meters surfacing over 2,100 residents and 83 businesses. They do business with, along with other 48 other cities in Kansas. They utilize the Kansas Municipal Gas Agency to purchase all of their natural gas. They have been informed on February 12th, natural gas was purchased for our gas utility for the weekend and federal holiday on the index of 329 MMBTUs, and that stands for metric million BTUs, which is over 100 times the normal pricing for natural gas. This goes on to talk about the financial ruin this could cause for small municipalities if, in fact, they have to pay that amount for gas prices, basically. With this kind of information, KDEM reached out to our local emergency management staff on Wednesday of this week, right after our BOCC meeting, actually, and recommended that the county, if we have these kinds of small cities impacted by potentially catastrophic natural gas prices for their jurisdiction, that they recommended that the county declare a disaster declaration, which the chairman signed on early Wednesday afternoon, and we publicized thereafter. What we want to discuss in this meeting, and I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Papoon from the counselor's office here, is the ratification and the discussion of this declaration, particularly how long we want the body wants the declaration to last, and Mike can also answer specifics legally about the meaning of this declaration. So that's the purpose of this first discussion. Mike.
Thank you, Tom. Mike Papoon, County Councilor, for the record. This morning you have before you a proposed resolution by the Board of County Commissioners declaring a state of emergency in Sedgwick County. As you're aware, the chairman a couple of days ago on Wednesday signed a declaration of disaster. He did this under the authority of the Kansas Emergency Management Act. And as part of that act, the authority for that resolution is limited to 7 days. And after the 7 days, it has to either be, it can only be continued on behalf of by the majority vote of the county commissioners. The authority for such declaration comes from KSA 48-904, and as part of it, the definition of a disaster includes storms such as we've had, this natural cold front that we've had, and ice and snow that have caused so many problems in our district. I can tell you that as of this morning, we understand that 12 other counties in our region have a similar declaration of disaster. And as I said, the chairman's authority only lasts 7 days, and we thought that it was probably prudent on our part, not knowing exactly how this resolution may affect us in the future for possible funding from FEMA or other agencies, to go ahead and continue it indefinitely. The resolution you have before you, I've made a couple of changes that should be in, one of the changes I put in ink in talking to the County Engineer, Public Works Director, Mr. Weber. He wanted to add snow and ice control as part of the third whereas paragraph on some of the issues that we've obviously been dealing with in this county. Weather conditions, water damage, water main breaks, need for water warming stations, and then we've added snow and ice control. We've also added at the end of the resolution a sentence that says the resolution shall become effective upon adoption by the Board of County Commissioners. And this final draft of the resolution will be given to the clerk this afternoon for the commissioners to sign. The reason we have put this effective upon adoption, just as a little tutorial here, when state statutes give county commissioners the authority to adopt a resolution, then those resolutions become effective upon adoption. When you create resolutions by your home rule authority, we publish those resolutions and they become effective upon publication. But since the emergency management statutes clearly give you the authorization to declare this disaster, local disaster, this resolution becomes effective upon your adoption this morning, if you so choose. So with that, the resolution's in proper form. We'd ask that you adopt the resolution, and the motion would be adopt the resolution with the changes of snow and ice control, and that the resolution becomes effective upon adoption. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate it. A couple other pieces of information. Once we received this letter, we talked to both Commissioner Meitzner and I talked directly with Congressman Estes, and I submitted a letter to Congressman Estes. I also sent the letter to Senator Moran's office and Senator Marshall's office, and they've acknowledged receipt of it, and they're working, trying to find out what they can do to help. In addition, the governor has written a disaster declaration also that supports this. So there are a lot of people working, trying to help out these organizations. As Tom Stoltz mentioned, the cost of gas has gone up a lot. Part of this letter says that they were paying $1.90 per metric million BTU. The latest price was $622.78. So it went up considerably, and that's going to put a severe hardship on these communities. Another community in our county that we're aware of is in Commissioner Cruz's district, is up in Keachai. So there are at least two cities that we know of in Sedgwick County that are having problems with this. So I strongly support this resolution, and at the proper time, I wouldn't mind making a motion. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Any other questions or comments? I agree. For Commissioner Lopez, this is not a normal course of business that we do, but these we did one before, and I think it's rare, but it's a state of emergency that mainly allows these municipalities to pursue any federal programs that might be available financially. So it just that's the gist of it. It's not a financial obligation by us by any means at this time. So with that, I'll make or you can make a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move that the Board of County Commissioners pass the proclamation declaring the state of local disaster emergency.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any other comments? I don't see any. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Lopez? Aye. Commissioner Dennis?
Aye.
Commissioner Howell?
Aye.
Commissioner Cruz? Aye. Chairman Meitzner?
Aye.
And
Motion
if I
carries.
could, Commissioners, I want to point out that Justin Wagner in my office put this together very, very quickly. The governor's office has also issued the same disaster proclamation, did that earlier this week. And Justin, in working with our emergency management folks, worked very hard, all of them, to try to come up with the proper language for this resolution. Just wanted to make that comment.
All right. And Tom, anything else?
While we have you all here,
Right.
Chairman, and just to kind of recap the events from yesterday and kind of where we stand today regarding vaccinations. Sorry. All of you were at the library yesterday with the announcement that we would be moving the mega site from Intrust Bank Arena to that location. And that we would also, there was also an announcement made yesterday that we would begin to emphasize the vaccination of K through 12 teachers. Whenever we shift populations that we're serving with vaccinations within the community, we have other subgroups of phase 2 and some phase 3 contact us and wonder if they're included in that group. So I just want to clear that up today, what the scope of the county is today regarding vaccinations and kind of how we're moving forward into the future. Effective today, we are still vaccinating the 70-plus population in Sedgwick County. With the news of yesterday and the extra vaccinations earmarked from the governor's office for K through 12 teachers to the number of about 3,500 per week. We have now also added that particular group into our emphasis right now for vaccination. We've had some discussion, and just the numbers we are hearing currently is we will continue to receive 7,000 vaccinations per week. The